Hey there, roleplayers. My name is Tegadis. I'm your role-playing admin for Dragon Ball Infinity, and this is your second RP update. Now, there's a lot to talk about, but the most obvious of which is the conclusion of the Minion Arc. You guys all did absolutely fantastic. You were eager, you were bloodthirsty, you went for it, and you totally succeeded. Um, I read through all the waves of the Minion Arc. I read Dumastin versus Dustin, and I gotta say, absolutely everybody, did an amazing, phenomenal job. There were so many good parts to this arc, and there were so many reasons that it was enjoyable. And Lai, especially you, Lai, you deserve a hand. You deserve a nice round of applause just for all of your efforts into making this happen. You went above and beyond the Call of Duty, and that's awesome, man. I really hope that you continue to stay really involved, and I always plan with you, so I'm sure you and I can come up with something big to go on to next. But you know, the Minion arc is over, or at least this part of it is over, and some of you guys, I mean, this arc has been so good for some of the new role players and some of the up and coming role players. I mean, in the final waves alone, I think some of you might have gotten it anywhere from 6 to 8 reds uh, for your rolls. I mean, that's a lot of points. Um, Now that it's over though, and everything is sort of settled, Haven has been razed to the ground. The settlement where Wraith Corp has been, Dumastin's settlement is completely destroyed except for the underground. Uh, the aftermath of the battle is just, I think Lai put it in a way that it would be easier to burn the city and start over than to rebuild because of the damage and the destruction. I think there were easily 600 of the minions swarming the city, and only a few hundred of the Haven Defense Force to protect it. It was an absolute massacre. Only a few very select members of the Haven Defense Force survived. It was the end of Smoke as a character. We got to see a lot of stuff. Um, so, but it's also left an impact on RP history, and we'll see if some of these characters return. I'd like to see Ross again and Carolyn, and maybe Smoke will even go back into the action. Uh, and then of course leaves the big whammy, which is what's going to happen with Spez and Telarr. Uh, the last that I read about them, somehow they had switched bodies, or Telarr was in Spez's body. Uh, if unless I read that wrong, but so that's exciting. And then I know that Rizian is working on Nick Yellow, furthering his plot that's going there. From what he tells me, he's going to be diving a little bit more into the backstory, a little bit more of the why and the how, why he's going rogue out there on the edges of the galaxy. So, that's a whole other plot. Other news and that's been happening on the chat channel. Uh, First of all, I just want to point this out. There's an up and coming role player. I don't know if he's completely new to DBI. He knows his way around pretty well, but there's a character or a guy running around named Merit, and he's an amazing role player. I felt schooled, totally outclassed when I role played against him as Memphis in the Dream World. I am hesitant to ever encounter him again on the Dream plane because he was much better at it than I was. Uh, but anyway, Merit is a great RPer. You guys should go out of your way to find him on the chat channel. He and Dumastin are currently heading off to a small colony world where there apparently has been reports of massive nightmares. I don't know much about what's going on with the plot. I don't even think a lot of it has been posted on the forums yet. But that's something to watch out for whenever it hits the forums as well. You guys should check it out. Dumastin is a riot. His character is so colorful. I've told him before, I think that I think that Nigmas creates some of the most interesting and vibrant characters that come to chat. They just ooze personality, and anytime that you have Dumastin doing anything, it's always so crazy and it's always so interesting to read. So, whenever he decides to post that up, whenever he and Merit get into their plot, you guys should check it out and encourage him, because it'd be nice to have Dumastin back on the mud a little bit more regularly. That said, let's talk about what's going to happen after what has happened with the Minion Arc. I think this is a good time. I'm gonna do a more realistic post about it on the forums or on the chat soon. But uh, after what's happened at Haven, I feel that, at least from what me and Ethir and I have talked, and we want to sort of take back some of the edicts that the EDF have made against metahumans. In light of so many people losing their lives, so many sacrifices made for Haven, and so many people dying just because the EDF didn't involve themselves, uh, the Earth Defense Council is probably going to make an announcement soon that the Metahuman Registration Act is being revoked, and that slowly they will be opening their borders once again to metahumans, because they've realized that you know they're going to need these powerful warriors. They're going to need to have them around, because when something like this happens and a war breaks out on the planet, the EDF can't be powerless to stop them. They need to be able to protect the citizens of Earth. It shouldn't matter whether you're a metahuman or ascended fighter. It shouldn't matter if you've unlocked your potential. You're still a citizen. So, hopefully we'll be seeing an announcement about that soon, and I'm sure that the EDF will be welcoming Dumastin back, especially. I think they'll probably even have a special apology just for him. But that's what's going on in roleplay, except for one thing. This is kind of a really strange warning, but I've been hearing on the news on ZTV that there's been a really strange Kinetsu going around the galaxy recently, and he seems to be searching for someone. Phi? Do any of you guys know Phi? Because it seems like this guy's out for his blood. But I'm sure we'll learn more about that a little later on. This has been your role-playing update. Again, one last shout out to all of you guys who participated in Minion Arc. Thank you guys for helping us make that happen and making it into something really awesome. I'll see you on the chat channel.